Okay, let's be real. If you've ever scrolled through Temu or filled up a cart on Shein, you've seen those prices. They feel almost impossible, right? Well, it turns out a little-known rule change happening thousands of miles away is about to shake things up. So let's get into why your next bargain hunt might not feel like such a bargain anymore.
First off, have you ever just stopped and wondered, where does all this stuff actually come from? The endless stream of gadgets, clothes, you name it. Well, the answer isn't just some random factory. It's a whole city. And this city is built around a truly staggering number, 75,000. That is the number of stores, or more like wholesale showrooms, packed inside the Yiwa International Trade Market in China. We're talking about a place that covers over 1,500 acres. It is, by far, the largest wholesale market on the entire planet. Think of this place as the beating heart of global wholesale. Buyers for all the big e-commerce players come here to source pretty much everything, and then it gets shipped directly to you. It's literally the physical source of your digital shopping cart. But see, the secret to those rock-bottom prices wasn't just about making things efficiently. For years, the whole system was supercharged by this obscure little trade rule. Think of it as a loophole that helped these online giants grow into what they are today. It's something called the de minimis provision. And what it means, in simple terms, is that if a package is valued below a certain dollar amount, it can sail right into the United States without paying any of the import taxes or tariffs that bigger shipments get hit with. In the United States, that magic number is $800. Any single package under $800 gets a free pass from customs duties. It doesn't matter where it's from, it just comes right on through. And to give you some perspective on just how high that is, just look at our neighbor, Canada. Their limit is only about $15. That means the US lets in packages worth more than 50 times what Canada does, duty-free. It's a huge difference. The scale of this is just mind-blowing. In 2024 alone, this little rule allowed over 1.3 billion packages to enter the US completely tariff-free. Billion with a B. So, you can see how companies like Temu and Shein basically built their entire business model around this. They ship tons of small, individual packages directly from China to your door. And since the average order on, say, Shein is around $70, pretty much every single package slid right under that $800 limit. The result? No import tax on any of it. But that massive, smooth sailing flow of goods, it just slammed into a major roadblock. The rules of the game have changed, and it happened fast. A new policy has suspended that tariff exemption, specifically for packages coming straight from China. So, let's get to the bottom line. What does this mean for your wallet? It's simple. Before, that $70 Shein order had zero import tax. Now, with this exemption gone for China, that same order is going to get hit with import taxes, including a new 10% tariff. And, it's not just about the extra cost. This change has a whole ripple effect. Small parcels from China now have to go through extra customs checks, which means you could be looking at some serious shipping delays on top of the new taxes. You can imagine that back in Yiwu, the traders are getting pretty anxious. Now, to be fair, the argument for this change is all about leveling the playing field. Critics of the old rules say it allowed a tsunami of packages to flood the U.S., making it impossible for American businesses, who do have to pay tariffs on their bigger shipments, to compete on price. For the record, Shein and Temu have both said that this specific rule isn't the main reason for their success. They point to things like their super efficient supply chains and their overall business models. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question, or maybe the billion package question: is closing this loophole actually going to stop the flow of all these low-cost goods from China? Well, according to trade experts, the answer is probably not. The consensus seems to be that the flow won't stop, it'll just get routed differently. As one analyst put it, you haven't really solved the core challenge of cutting off the products themselves. And the reason for that comes down to something really simple: demand. As long as millions of us here in America want to buy these products at these prices, the market is going to find a way to get them to us. So, here's the most likely playbook. When businesses face a challenge like this, they adapt. They'll just find new shipping routes to work around the new rules. And when those new tariffs increase their costs, well, you can bet they're going to pass that cost on. And that brings us to the final,
unavoidable takeaway from the experts. While the policy might not actually stop the products from getting here, what it has done, almost certainly, is drive up the cost for U.S. consumers.
So, in the end, it looks like the goods are gonna keep coming. The businesses will adjust. The only real question left is the one that lands right back in your shopping cart. Who's the one that's really gonna pay the price?